Hey, this is Rodney Stokes. This is a quick video in response to a question that I was just asked. Someone asked me, how can you get on a webinar or a sales call or any type of call, any type of public speaking in front of a ton of people and not get overwhelmed with fear? And it was a three-part answer. Answer number one, you have to think about who you're talking to. So I've been on sales calls with hundreds of people. I mean, the most people I've probably presented to live was like 500 or something people. And actually on one of my most recent calls, I made the statement that it's 500 something people here, but I'm really just talking to one person. And the reason I said that is because I understand who it is that I want to serve, what type of person and what type of problems they have and the solutions that I want to bring to that person. So I can be on a call with 5 people, 500 or 5,000. I'm still focusing on that one person that I have in my mind, the character that I created in my mind that I'm serving, and I'm talking directly to that person. And not to mention, you're just talking to that person like a friend, like a genuine friend. You know, you don't change up how you talk. You don't have to speak proper. You don't have to wear a suit and a tie. You know, I went through those different phases. When I first came online, I thought I had to speak clearly and not say all the ums and the ahs and the, stuttering. But the one thing that I learned is that your superpower is actually in your flaws. And so everything that you think that makes you weak or come up short on certain things is actually what gives you your superpowers, actually your strengths. So it's a paradigm shift to actually understand that your weaknesses are actually your strengths online. But I'm gonna tell you why. Because every single time you try to come off as perfect, every single time you try to think of the perfect thing to say, the perfect way to say it, you're not really being yourself and people can't connect with you. Online, especially in marketing online, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So people want to buy from a real person. And people want to see that you have certain traits in common with them. So the fact that I can get on a sales call and say, if I thought about all the people that I'm talking to on this call, I would feel nervous. But in my mind, I'm only talking to one person. That connects with a person out there that says, well, I don't like public speaking either. I don't like getting in front of a lot of people. I wouldn't know what to do if I had 500 people on a call. But the fact that it's like the movie 8 Mile. When Eminem said, yes, I do live with my mom. Yes, I do X, Y, and Z. So whatever you can say against me is not going to have that same effect because I've already put it out there. Now, what else can you say? It's kind of the same thing. When you say that you have anxiety getting on camera, or when you say that you don't like public speaking, or that you're an introvert, it draws those type of people closer to you because more people are like that than not. Most people don't want to do presentations and do all of this technical stuff and, and be all proper and dress up. Most people are just the average person. So you're actually speaking their language and people pay more attention when you're being real and putting yourself out there, your real self. So that was my answer, which is be your real self. Be vulnerable, because that's the connector. That's the thing that brings people closer to you. But then also the third part of the answer is don't try to get anything out of it. So what I find most of the time when people are nervous to do these type of presentations or just public speaking in general is because they want to control the outcome. They think, okay, if this amount of people get on the call, I should at least close this amount of sales, or I should at least make this amount of money. Throw all of that stuff out the window. What I do before I get in front of a lot of people is I think about in my mind who that perfect person is that I want to help, that I want to work with, and I create and I base my content based off of talking to that person and that person alone. And again, if it's 500 people, it's really just that person multiplied across 500 times. So that way, if I do stutter or if I do mess up a part of my presentation or whatever the case may be, my mind is not going crazy. I'm not freaking out, because in my mind, I didn't have that expectation that I just missed. I know that I'm only on this call to serve and help one person. That is my goal, to serve one person, help them get that aha moment, help them to get the results. And then that way, however the call goes, if I did my homework and I did my presentation well and all that, it should go well. But however the call goes, I'm okay with it because I met my goal. So if you're doing presentations, if you're doing webinars, even if it's on the telephone, if you're doing sales calls over the phone, don't be so hard on yourself. Be vulnerable. If you're nervous, say, hey, I'm a little nervous, guys. I've never been on a call with this many people, so bear with me. Hopefully I can convey this information to you well. And people want to say, you're good, you're doing great, I love it. You know, people are going to encourage you, and then that also brings them closer to you. But then again, remember to talk to them like they're a friend. Be casual, be yourself, and don't have the expectation hanging over your head. And if you follow those steps, all should go well. You should have no worries, and you're going to want to do it again. Right? You're going to get all the positive feedback, and you're going to say, I can't wait for my next call. Then someone else is going to ask you, how did you do that with 600 people in that call? And then you can just tell them the same thing. I focused on helping one person, and things just lined up. So hopefully you got some value from it. And if you got any questions, feel free to comment below or reach out to me wherever you're seeing this at. And the more questions I get, I'll be cutting quick videos like this to help you guys out. So talk soon.